Let me finally, just briefly, address an issue I believe is germane to the electoral process and will be germane to our understanding on how issues will play out as we move towards the 2023 general election. As you know, as of today, 18 political parties will participate in the presidential election. And the law has outlined how candidates will emerge and how a presidential candidate or a president will emerge in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, because of the limited time allowed the commission by the law, in case a candidate does not emerge on the first ballot, the commission prints ballots for runoff election when we are printing ballots for the main election. In other words, if 93 million Nigerians are on the ballot for the presidential election, we will print 93 million ballots for the first election, and at the same time, print 93 million ballots for a runoff election in case a winner does not emerge on the first ballot. If at the end of the day, there is no runoff, when election petitions are disposed of, the commission will destroy the 93 million ballots printed for the runoff. This is because the law gives the commission just 21 days within which to engage in reverse logistics and conduct a runoff election in case there's no winner. Moreover, some of you also know that as at the time of the conduct of the presidential election, the governorship election and the state assembly elections are still pending. So for the governorship election, the commission prints at least runoff ballot for 4 governorship elections in case we have challenges in terms of a winner not emerging on the first ballot in some of the states of the Federation. Now, how does a president emerge? And what are the conditions that will necessitate a second election? Because the Constitution calls it a second election. The Constitution doesn't call it a runoff. Section 134, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the fundamental law of the land, makes it mandatory that before anyone can be deemed to have been elected as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that candidate must secure the highest number of votes cast at the election. The candidate must secure the highest number of votes cast at the election and must also secure a quarter of the votes cast in 2/3 of all the states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. That is mandatory. Now, if no candidate secures this highest number of votes and the mandatory threshold, the Constitution says that we must have a second election within a period of 21 days. Now, not all candidates are going to participate in this second election. 18 candidates will be on the ballot for the first election. If no candidate emerges on the first ballot, only 2 candidates are going to be on the second ballot, or only 2 candidates are going to contest the second election. Now, who are those candidates that will be on the ballot for the second election? The Constitution has made it very clear that 2 candidates that will be on the ballot are, one amongst the candidates who scored the highest number of votes at the election. The one that scored the highest number of votes at the election. The second candidate that will be on the ballot will be one amongst the remaining candidates who has a majority of the votes in the highest number of states. One amongst them. The Constitution did not say that the person who came second will be the person who will be on the ballot. That's not what the Constitution has said. The Constitution says that one amongst the remaining candidates who has a majority of votes in the highest number of states, will be the second candidate. So you may have a situation where one candidate in the election secures 10 million votes, and the second candidate secures 9 million votes, and the third candidate secures 7 million votes. But that third candidate secured majority of votes in the highest number of states. The Constitution says that is that third candidate that will be on the ballot with the first person. So I think that this is very important, because I have been at a polling unit where results for a particular polling unit was declared, and all the persons in that particular polling unit went to the streets and started demonstrating that their candidate had won. But the result that was declared was for one polling unit. So as bureau chiefs and as senior journalists, I think you have a responsibility to understand some of these issues, given the fact that the election may be very contentious. Nobody can, with certainty, predict what may likely happen. And the lawmakers, in their wisdom, made it very clear that if there's no winner on the first ballot, that we should prepare for the second election. And the commission is already prepared for that second election, taking into consideration the fact that it will be difficult for us to engage in reverse logistics and then begin to look for printers that will print 93 million ballots before we move them to the states, move them to the local governments, move them to the registration areas, and then they get to the polling units. So we've printed, and we are going to print the ballot for the main election and the ballot for a possible runoff election at the same time. That's what the commission will do. Who has the majority of votes in the highest number of states? So the Constitution did not say the person who came second in the election. The second person is one among the remaining who has a majority. If you see, subsection A used the word highest number of votes. YB used one among the remaining who has majority of votes in the highest number of states. Majority in the highest number of states. Majority in the highest number of states. So I want to leave it, I want to leave it at this, because if I go further than this, you have to pay consultation fee. I will now transform into a lawyer. For the second election, we will also print ballot papers for 18 political parties. It is now the responsibility of the Nigerian people. It is now, no, just a minute. The moment, no, just a minute, just hear me. When elections are over and no candidate emerges, the commission will make a determination of the candidate that has the highest number of votes and the one that has the highest spread. So if it is the PRP that scored the highest number of votes, it will be on the ballot. If it is the PPP that got the highest majority in the highest number of it will be on the ballot, and Nigerians will know.
What about the 16 other parties?
The 16 other political parties, if you go and put anything for them, whatever you have put in is a wasted vote. Let me just say this. No, excuse me. Excuse me. Let us get this thing right. Excuse me. Excuse me. The first election, which is the presidential and national assembly elections, the presidential election is not the only election the commission is conducting during the first period. We are conducting election to the Senate and to the House of Representatives. We have to announce the winners. Yes. We have to announce the winners. We have to announce the winners for the Senate and the House of Reps. And there's a possibility that by the time we are done with all these things, it's almost a week. So you have removed 7 days from the 21 days given to the commission. Then you still have governorship election and state assembly elections pending within this particular period. So the commission cannot turn back and begin to go up and down. Yes, and begin to go up and down, looking for security printers to go and print ballot papers during this particular period. So what the commission will do within this particular period, and what the political parties will do within this particular period, is to engage in massive voter education, so that Nigerians will know the political party that got the highest number of votes and the political party that will be the second party on the ballot. I don't think that there's anything odious about this. And so you cannot print 93 million ballots when you have governorship elections to contend with, you have state assembly elections to contend with, you are declaring winners for